Welcome back, everyone. So I did finally get my hands on the Medical Terrapin. I like the term the Kevlar Ducky uses. It's DocTur, like Doc Turtle. So I use the Doc and the Tur from Turtle. I'm going to stick with that. Think it's a pretty funny name. At the end of the day, this is a ship I do like and I'm looking forward to. I get it's going to probably be very expensive out of the game. I don't know what the price will be in game. Probably too expensive as well compared to something like the C8R. But let's take a look at it, do a quick run around for it. It's a pretty quick and small ship to cover, but as I'm showing here in the beginning, it can fit on the Polaris, and there's things I like about it. Unfortunately, that's a crutch for me, a bit of a bias, if you will. It's definitely not something I would recommend people to buy, but it is something I could see that will appeal to some. Anyways, let's get into it. So yeah, this is the basis behind why I like dropships in the game. I mean, there's a bunch of different examples, right? This is probably a play off of the dropship from Aliens 2, but this is Starship Troopers Chronicles, like a very old TV show from when I was a youngster, back when they had Saturday morning cartoons. But yeah, it's just a little play. I mean, I can't play that for too long because they'll end up probably deleting the video or something. But anyways, it's just an interesting little concept. But that leads me into why I like dropships, and then kind of leads into this architecture. So obviously this is a close cousin to the Valkyrie. I like the Valkyrie a lot, but I refuse to kind of buy that out of game. Possibly might do it. I don't know. I just refuse to kind of spend that much on a ship that doesn't have many gameplay loops associated with it. This kind of falls in the same category, but at the end of the day, I like medical ships as well. So it kind of ticks it 2 boxes for me, but they're really boxes of just me socially. I mean, me just liking it. It has nothing to do with actually being worthwhile for me. It's like just a second kind of cool for me. That's okay. I mean, people spend the money however they want. That's just how it goes. But that's how life is. But it's just like purchasing a car. We have so many car options out there in the world. Why would someone buy one over the other? Because someone likes it more than the other. Someone prefers it. It is, it is what it is. Then we start to get into the Medical Terrapin here. Not a lot offered here. So this is where it also doesn't, this is one of those insane things where I'm somewhat talking myself out of this ship, but I like it. If you're trying to compare to something like the C8R is a better buy. Go get it. I mean, that's something that's just worthwhile, and it can do a lot of the same capabilities. Obviously, this has a tier 2 bed, but you'd have to talk about future state for that to be a relevant discussion with this, because currently, whether it's a level 1, 2, or 3 injury, just backspace your character. Make sure you have your gear secured somewhere. Maybe you just backspace your character, gets the medical bed or whatever, but there's no consequences. So it makes it hard to fight for any particular bed type based upon the tier series, because again, tiers currently irrelevant. So you do have like patient or guest storage, passenger storage, that equals 500k, which happens to be of USCU, happens to be half of an SCU. This is another half of an SCU, and you'll see I'll put my magazines in here, and I'll go to the other side, and you'll realize that this just means we have one whole SCU of storage in these 2 bins here, which is nice. Now, if you want to split that with someone else, that's fine, but this isn't really it's meant to be a solo ship, and occasionally having a passenger with you, which again goes back to the C8R. It offers the same capabilities, just less storage. I think that has 60k of USCU, so it's like a very small percentage of an SCU. So you're not going to carry much gear at all. Component wise, there's tons of components here. I like the fuse box. It's called the relay, but it's got the gold standard across the board. Terrapin should have the same kind of setup, so that from that perspective, it's good. You got your bed here. You can also fit a couple SCU boxes if you want single SCU boxes, or you want to do 2 SCU boxes. Excuse me, I wouldn't fit more than that probably in here. You're going to want to figure out what side you step off the bed. Looks like on the right side here, so you probably don't want to put a box too close to yourself here. It does have the fridges, like there's a fridge down below like the C8R has, and it has one next to the terminal, but neither one of them is stocked with stuff, which is crazy because the C8R even has that. So it almost makes the C8R even a better price, more comparable alternative and better buy at the end of the day. Again, if someone's looking to get this, it's probably just because they like it. Unless it's close to the Cuddy Red price, it's not going to be worth buying in game or out of game, and maybe not in game either, to be honest. But it does fit in the Polaris. That's what I like about it as well. So I'll probably keep it in my fleet for now until I can buy it in game. That's just a personal preference. I'll just melt some ships for it and then melt it as well later on once it's available in game, which it should be available sometime after 4.0, given that this will go in 4.0 is probably up next, so some iteration after 4.0 it should be in for people to purchase. On top of that, the Cuddy Red is a better buy in a lot of ways, even though it has 2 size 3 beds. Again, you can still backspace your character to deal with the other injuries you might have, and it has actual SCU storage, so from that perspective, it's a better buy. But comparatively, you can't fit it to something like the Polaris, so if you wanted to carry it around, you can't currently carry around the Cuddy Red. It doesn't even fit in something like an Idris. So yeah, I like the MFD layout. I like most things about the ship. For me, I like it, but I get it. It's not something that a lot of people are going to be interested in, given that the price will probably be pretty high. So hopefully they price it accordingly. Yeah, so I get it's not going to be for everyone. I also was able to finally get my hands, obviously because it's Anvil Day, on the Mark II Ghost, and I'm looking forward actually to that ship a little bit as well. I think it's going to be overpowered for a while because of the stealth updates they've already done in reference for this ship. That it'll definitely come out for IAE. That's why it's already in the PTU, and because they're looking to sell the ship, and so the Ghost will be overpowered for a while until they nerf it. Either way, I still am interested a bit into this ship, so it's something I might look at getting as well. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to probably depend on if I can CCU up to it. But yeah, at the end of the day, I look through the prism of fitting things in the Polaris, because that's just, I want to use the Polaris as a base of operations, so that's how I gauge ship these days. That being said, I kind of have the Liberator on the chopping block, but I think either one of these two should be able to fit in something like the Ironclad. But if Liberator has 2 top hangars like this, obviously it won't be enclosed, but if it has 2 of these hangars that are this big, these pads, that's going to be huge. I don't think it'll actually be this big. So the Polaris just does quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to use it as a base of operations. It'll be an expensive base of operations, but I think it'll be fun gameplay to be able to take the Polaris out, have your ships with you, and not have to go back to the station unless you need to sell stuff. Yeah, looking forward to this change and the Polaris coming out. At least that's what I currently envision, and that's what I'm going to use it for. I could actually, as well, I was able to get an MPUV tractor in here as well towards the end. It's just something I didn't put in this video. It's dragging on as it is. So there's also in the back here a fuel pump area where you can pump fuel, but all in all, that's a pretty good runabout of what's going on with the new Medical Terrapin. Let me know down below if you're interested in getting it. Again, I think it's going to probably be priced too high, but appreciate those that have taken time to like and subscribe, and thank you all for catching the video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Ooh.